So, what's going on guys, Kade is here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today, we are checking out the top 5 best PvP builds in New World. So first things first, I will explain for each build what weapon combinations you want to use, then which abilities you want to choose, where do you want to spend your attributes, what gear should you wear, and much more. So if you're a beginner or already experienced player and you're looking for the most fun and best build, then this is the video for you. And with all this said, let's get straight into it. Then, moving over to the first build, which is the one and only Fire Staff and Ice Gauntlet. And these are the attributes you want to have. So first of all, for each build I will give myself 400 points to spend. But these are not only the points you can use after each new level, but as well the attributes you want to have on your gear. So if you start from level 0, first things first, you get your intelligence up to 200 or 250 at least. And only then start building constitution. But around level 60 and in general, you want to have this 1:3 ratio. So when you have 300 intelligence, you have 100 constitution and so on and so forth. And now let's move over to the first weapon, which is the Fire Staff. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. As a rule of thumb, I would first of all recommend to unlock all these 3 weapon abilities. So first of all, I would unlock this Pillar of Fire ability, then unlock this next perk, and afterwards unlock the Fireball ability, and the next perk to that. And then move over to the other side and unlock both these 2 perks. And then the Burnout ability with these 3 perks as well. And now from here, you're feel free to unlock any perks in whichever order you like. And then moving over to the second weapon, which is the Ice Gauntlet. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. At the start, I would recommend to unlock all of these 3 perks, and then unlock the first ability, called the Ice Storm. Then from here you can take a look at the other side and unlock this perk. And then unlock the second ability, called the Ice Shower. And then afterwards get the next perk to him as well. And lastly, unlock the third ability, and then again go over to the other side and unlock all the selected perks to get this ultimate chill. And then afterwards you're feel free to do it in whatever order you like. And then as for my final thoughts for this build. So for our gear we go with the light armor, but I'm sure that you can even mix 2 medium gear pieces, and if the rest is light armor you will be still in the light category. So then for your weapon enchants you want to use the green gems. And as the weapon playstyle requires mana, don't forget to bring healing and mana potions as well. And in conclusion, this is by far one of the best PvP builds in New World. This weapon combination works very well in PvE, open world PvP, and even 50v50 wars. So if you're looking to be a massive mage DPS player with a lot of damage, then this is the build for you. Then moving over to the second build, which is the Great Axe and Hatchet. And these are the attributes you want to have. So right off from the start you want to split all gear stats and new points 50 to 50. So always have 50 strength and 50 constitution, and so on and so forth. This build is meant as a huge damage dealer, while at the same time being able to survive multiple people by yourself. And right now this is one of the most overpowered builds ever. So then taking a closer look at the first weapon, which is the Great Axe. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all, what you want to unlock is Reap ability, then the next perk, then you want to unlock this ability and then the next perk as well. Then afterwards unlock this perk, and now let's move over to the other side and unlock both these 2 perks. And then the last third ability. And now from here you're feel free to use and unlock the selected perks in any order you want. So then moving over to the second weapon, which is the Hatchet. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. And first of all, what you want to do is unlock this Berserker ability, and then the next 2 perks. Then unlock the Sprint Attack ability, and then the next 2 perks to that. And then unlock the last Raging Torrent ability, and then the next 2 perks to him. And now from here you're feel free to use and unlock the perks in whichever order you want. And now for my last and final conclusions for this build. So you are a tank DPS player, which means that you want to go full heavy armor with Hatchet and Great Axe. And as I mentioned before, with this build I have seen multiple solo players fighting and destroying 4 to even 5 man groups. And this build and weapons are built around survival and high damage. And lastly, not only you can use this build for solo open world PvP, but as well make it into a tank build for expeditions or 50v50 wars, and much more. So if you're looking for the best tank build, then here it is. Then now we have come to the third build, which is the Ice Gauntlet and Rapier. And these are the weapon attributes you want to have. So first of all, what you want to do is get your intelligence up to 200 or 250. and then start building constitution, and around level 60 you should have around 300 intelligence and 100 constitution with gear stats and leveling points. So then let's go over to the first weapon, which is the ice gauntlet, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. And then first things first, you want to unlock all these 3 perks, then unlock this ice storm ability, and then let's move over to the other side and unlock this perk, then this ice shower ability, and then the next perk to that. And last but not the least, unlock this third ability, and from here on out you can spend points in whichever order you want. And now let's move over to the second weapon, which is the rapier, and these are the weapon masteries we want to have. So then first of all, what you want to do is unlock this evade ability, and then the next 2 perks. Then afterwards unlock this fleech ability, and then lastly unlock this third ability, and then the next perk to that as well. And now from here you're feel free to spend your points in whatever order you like. And now let's talk about my final conclusions about the build. So first of all, what you want to do is use all the light armor, and this is another very high damage focused build. But instead, like the first build we covered, in this one you not only do damage and a lot of CC, but as well you can escape and do damage close range. So feel free to use spells to attack or defend. And as the ice gauntlet is one of the best mage weapons, you can use this build for every single activity in the game. So that means 1v1, expeditions, 50v50 wars, invasions, and much more. So what are you waiting for? Check this build out and have fun! Then for one of the last builds on the list we have the one and only spear and bow, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So like you can see, you want to have 3:1 ratio, so that means if you have 150 dexterity, you can have 50 constitution, and so on and so forth. And around level 60 you should have 300 dexterity and 100 constitution. And now let's go over to the first weapon, which is the spear, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. And interestingly enough, for this weapon it doesn't really matter in which order you unlock the perks. As well, at the end of the video I will explain on how does this work and why some perks are more important to be unlocked sooner than the other ones, so stay tuned for that. But in a short summary, just first of all unlock all these 3 abilities, and then the 1 or 2 passives that have to be used as well to get to the last third ability. And then from here you're feel free to use points in whatever order you like. So with that said, let's go over to the second weapon, which is the bow. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So what I would suggest first of all is to unlock this evade shot ability, and then the next perk. Then unlock the poison shot ability, and then these 3 next perks. And now let's move over to the other side, and you want to unlock these 2 perks and then the last third ability. And then like per usual, from here on out you can spend points in whichever order you like. And then as for my final thoughts about this build. So from all of my 5 weapon combinations that I will give you in this video, this build is the hardest and the best build that requires a lot of skill and experience. Bow and spear, both of them are skill shot weapons, where with bow you have to aim and hit moving targets, while with the spear try to stun them and try not to be aggressive but neither too passive, and try to apply bleeding damage to your enemy. So if you're looking for an easy build, then for sure this is not for you. But if you're interested in a full light armor DPS build with high skill but high damage as well, then this is the build for you. And now for my last and final build, we have the sword with shield and life staff. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So with this build you are a full heavy armor healer, and this build is meant for 1v5s and open world PvP, where you can easily change few things and be a good support healer as well. So the way you want to build this is first of all get your focus to 100, and then get your constitution to 100 as well. And then from here on out build on it with gear and level points. And around level 60 you should have 150 focus and 250 constitution. And then going over to the first weapon, which is the sword and shield. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. Your main objective with this build is to be a frontline tank and try to become unkillable. So then it doesn't really matter in which order you spend your weapon levels. So just first of all unlock all these 3 abilities and then spend your points in whichever way you want. But then taking a closer look at the second weapon, which is the life staff. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all, what you want to do is unlock this perk, then unlock this first ability, and then the next 4 perks. And then from here let's move over to the other side. And lastly unlock both these 2 abilities. And then from here you can spend your points in whatever order you like. So in conclusion for this build, if you want to be a frontline tank healer, this is the best build for you. Your main objective is to not do a lot of damage but be a team player, and instead stay on the point in 50v50 wars and be in the front line of your group. while healing yourself and your teammates nearby. So if you want to be unkillable machine, then that's the build for you. And last thing but not the least, I did not know where to include this in the video, but for some weapons it is more important on which perks and abilities you unlock first. Because for example for the bow, the first few perks will unlock and give you plus 10% speed boost each time you dodge roll or swap a weapon, and then on a different weapon you get increased damage for your entire build and much more. So if you are a brand new player or just starting using one of these builds that I showed you in this video, then you don't have to level up your weapon to 20 to then only be able to use it in PvP. So just first of all, pick which build suits your playstyle more and then unlock the first few perks and abilities that are required. And then from here on out, you're good to go and have fun playing. And with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or different PvP builds that you would recommend to other players, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you wouldn't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I'll catch you in my next video, so take it easy, peace.
Yo, I ain't here for